ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಡಿ IQ. I am Shruti and this is the video on Karnataka State Current Affairs, third week of July month 2020. Study IQ is selling pendrive courses on various government exams and there is a pendrive course available on Karnataka State Public Service Commission. For more details, log on to the official website of Study IQ. Okay, here is the first news. Government announces support price for sericulture farmers. Sericulture farmers andre ರೇಷ್ಮೆ ಬೆಳೆಗಾರರು. Sericulture farmers have been badly hit by the COVID pandemic and Karnataka state government has come to the aid of these sericulture farmers. State government announced a support price of 50 rupees per kg of silk cocoons till the market improves. See, this is a cocoon. Here are cocoons. This is one of the stage in the life cycle of this silkworm and these cocoons are used in textile industries. State government has announced a support price of 50 rupees per kilogram of silk cocoons till the market improves. The price of cocoons had fallen from 350 to 500 per kg to rupees 270 to 250 per kg and people are paying twice the amount for silkworm eggs and cocoons are selling at a highly discounted prices. So the state government has come to the aid of these sericulture farmers. He is Minister Narayan Gowda. Minister has also increased the loan amount given to the silk reelers. Now the silk reelers can avail 2 lakh rupees. Okay. Minister Narayan Gowda directed officials to release 10 crore rupees towards the support price. Let's move to the next news. Scientist demonstrates innovative mango cultivation. He is scientist. Dr. Chaudappa is retired as director of Central Plantation Crop Research Institute, which is in Kasaragod, Kerala. Okay. In conventional method of planting, 40 to 50 saplings per acre are planted. Dr. Chaudappa has planted 674 plants, 674 saplings in 1 acre on his farm. His farm is located beyond Doddaballapur in Bengaluru rural district. Dr. Chaudappa have planted Alfonso and Kesar varieties of mango at the rate of 674 plants per acre. He has 10 acres of land. Per acre, he has planted 674 plants and has given a spacing of 9 feet between the rows and 6 feet between the plants. See, yield per plant will be low here in this ultra high density planting. Yield per plant will be low when compared with conventional planting system, but the total yield per acre will be higher because per acre number of plants per acre is high. Okay, yield per plant will be low here in this method, ultra high density planting, but total yield per acre will be higher. The salient feature of this particular method, ultra high density planting method, is almost all fruits will be of good quality. What is important in this kind of ultra high density planting is proper crop management. Okay, in addition to drip irrigation for some dry months, drip irrigation, kannadadalli hani neeravari paddhati. In this method, one must provide nutrients and spray medicines at 3 intervals a year. And this year, which marks the 5th year of planting saplings, Dr. Chaudappa was able to sell his produce to an online commodity firm, Farmgate. Okay, at the price of 60 rupees per kg. And with this, he earned a profit of over 2.5 lakh per acre. He earned a profit of over 2.5 lakh per acre after deducing the expenses of 1 lakh rupees per acre. Okay, expenses 1 lakh rupees per acre. After deducing the expense, he was able to earn a profit of 2.5 lakh per acre. Getting such a high yield from mango plants is being seen as possible game changer for farmers from dry and semi-dry areas as mangoes require less water. Let's move to the next news. Startup creates crowdsourced digital platform to manage pandemic. City-based startup has developed a new crowdsourced digital platform. Name of that digital platform is Digital Health Outpost, or DHO in short, Digital Health Outpost. This DHO is for health workers, government and also public. DHO is aimed at bolstering government's efforts to manage this COVID-19 pandemic DHO makes data available to government, public and medical community in real time and helps them take decisions. For instance, health workers can use this DHO digital platform for quarantine management, communicating instructions for those in home quarantine, and to comply with safety protocols set up for themselves. And civic bodies can use this DHO in contact tracing with its latitude, longitude, and physical boundary capture and daily updates. DHO can also help pharmacies, medical manufacturers, and commodity vendors keep the supply chain working smoothly. And digital health records created for patients are easily accessed by health workers. Unique identifiers are tied to the patients here. And for the patients in home or institutional quarantine, this DHO platform provides steady supply of information about self-isolation, hygiene, best practices, and so on. That was all about DHO. Water released from Sonna barrage after heavy inflow. See, this news is not that important, but you need to know where Sonna barrage is. Sonna barrage is built across Bhima River at Afzalpur Taluk in Kalburgi district, and this barrage was receiving heavy inflow from Bhima catchment area in Karnataka and Maharashtra. Both states received good rainfall this year. Barrage was receiving water at the rate of 4,000 cusecs. The same amount was released into the river as a precaution. You can observe this map. Here is Bhima catchment area, which comes in the border of Karnataka and Maharashtra. Next current affair is very important. It is about ordinance power. Ordinance means authoritative order. If you have studied this basic Indian polity, then you might have come across ordinance power of president and ordinance power of the governor. You must have basic knowledge about all the powers of governor and also president. See, Article 123 of the Constitution grants the president certain law-making powers to promulgate ordinances during the recess of parliament. And governor of Indian state draws ordinance making power from Article 213 of the Constitution. Please remember the article numbers. Article 123 speaks about ordinance power of the president and Article 213 speaks about the ordinance power of the governor. This article 213 empowers governor to promulgate ordinance on urgent matter during recess of state legislature. Here is that current affair. Governor signs ordinance on Karnataka land reforms. See, he is Karnataka Governor Vajubhai Vala. He signed Karnataka Land Reforms Ordinance 2020. And this ordinance brings sweeping changes to the Karnataka Land Reforms Act 1961. This act eased restrictions on buying agriculture land, on who can buy it, and ceiling on extent of land one can hold. This act imposed several restrictions on an individual with respect to the purchase of this agriculture land in Karnataka state. The main objective of this act is to prevent land holding. What is land holding? It is the ownership of large amounts of land without any sort of effective development. And this ordinance signed by Karnataka governor aims at liberalizing land holding structure by removing certain sections of the act. Sections like 79A, 79B and 79C of the act are removed. This permits non-agriculturists to purchase agriculture land. See, here is an information about land holding. Land holding causes rise in land prices, discouragement for new factories and industries to be set up, decrease in the potential of the economy, large population pressure on the remaining land. Okay, this is just for your information. Largest landowners of India are here. First, Government of India, including railways. This is highest across India. Government of India, including railways, holds large amount of land in India. Second, Catholic Church, just after the government, and they own land in urban and semi-urban areas. Then third, various temples. They own land in rural areas. These temples own land in rural areas. Then fourth, Waqf Board. It's a charitable endowment that comes under Islamic law. All these above institutions own much more land than they claim. And the worst issue is these lands have almost no development on them. This also discourages development of industries and factories because of the increase in land prices. Land hoarding can be reduced by implementation of this wealth tax. And this was all about land hoarding. Coming back to the news, please remember this point. The ordinance brings sweeping changes to the Karnataka Land Reforms Act 1961, and it eases restrictions on buying agricultural land. Okay, we studied Karnataka current affairs, third week of July 2020. Thank you. All the best.